Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the canyon. Welcome back to the return of those who we have missed. You're here for another installment of C.A.B.S, brought to you by the return of the Wheels of Fate, and a not quite stellar appearance because I didn't know that strong bond release film was a thing. The Wheels, take us away. And after the Wheels take us away, they bring us here. The V-Nix and Zarana. Yes, I understand now. In hindsight, C.A.B.S as the name of a series is somewhat confusing, I think, when we get to the point where we've had more than 1 week already where nobody's running a C.A.B. But it's not C.A.B. In my head, I just like an alliterative quality. I like something that tickles the ear, and in my head, while sitting at my desk doing something certainly not important, the idea that popped in my head was Class 2, like action battle simulator, and that's what we're doing. It is my shortcut to tuning vehicles that might need tuning. Sometimes we have weeks where nobody needs tuning. Sometimes we have weeks where everybody needs tuning. There is some small advantage here, I think, to this guy. He's lighter, but, and by lighter, I mean his body's, okay, let's just break it down. For those unaware, this is the V-Nix. That was picked on Green, I don't even remember. Spun him, saw it, went. V-Nix is half VRD and half Phoenix. Haphazardly cobbled together. He's got a twin, he's got Phoenix sliders, he's got the Phoenix plastics, he's got little extensions so that he can run the pin, and he's running a Biddy design Rock one, which is designed to fit with the cage. Basically turns your Phoenix into an F-Series pickup. Zarana is a Zoku Phoenix that has had some more little body poke-arounds in order to incorporate an Axial CJ-7, which, when you pick them up back-to-back, there's a little bit of a weight differential there. Fusion SE 1800, Rhino V80 with a Rhino S20, I can't see the KV, 1800. So they're both on 1800s. They're both on Tusks. These are Canyon Customs. These are 3D printed inserts. RS700 V2 Flash Hobby 60 kg. Endura 7 kg Micros. Flash Hobby 1227 RPs. They are both on what is sure to confuse me, identical Radio Link RC6s. The most important stuff, the V-Nix, 3,195 grams. He is 60-40 on his weight distribution, and he's 49-51 on the cross. He's about 60 grams off on one cross weight to the other. Not bad, considering, like, I mean, look at the differences in layout. Getting a twin in there was a bit of a trick, because it is a 4-link front end with a twin. This is a 4-link front end with a twin. This is a full Zoku Phoenix, so the skid was designed for it. This skid was also designed for it. Anyway, some of the parts, I stand by my contention that the F10 axle was never intended to be servo-on axle. It's kind of a bodge trick. Stubby kit to run BTA. No stubby kit to run, because this is a VRD chassis, and this is a Zoku Phoenix chassis. Zarana, 3,440 grams. That is 56.44. A lot of that is brought to you by the weight of that. And the numbers are frankly pretty terrible. 47.53 cross weight. We've got 130 grams more on this tire than this tire. But more notably, we have 250 grams more on this tire than on this tire. And on that side, that's why the cross weights are so bad, 311 grams differential between those two. If it was 311 grams differential between those two, that would be fine, but it's about 125. So there are going to be some inconsistencies, some peculiarities. We're running a 90mm shotgun here, a 95mm shotgun here. You can see Zarana is built to be pretty articulate. Alloy, Vanquish axles, just regular F10s. A lot of similarities, a lot of differences, and really, to be fair, not a huge amount of tuning done to either. I would like to say that they are both in the stock configuration for links, aside from perhaps rear upper mount. I might have changed the link mounting position on that. I genuinely don't know. It's going to chime like 26 times. It's just going to keep going. And then we're done. I genuinely don't know how I would address the left to right bias and all that stuff on this guy. I don't know. All of this collaboration of stuff probably weighs right about the same as that 850 battery. They run the same battery on both. I see less issue in tuning here. Well, the 5 points course that we run for C.A.B.S will show us. This could be one of those instances. This could be one of those instances where we get out there and we run this on paper on the bench, which leaves us at a point of all other things being equal. This and this may do very equally well, despite the numbers on paper for this one looking significantly better than this one. I mean, we're talking 245 grams differential in weight, 245 more on this, which is crazy. What is that? 9 ounces, give or take? I think the body probably weighs 9 ounces more, you would expect. And the alloy axles, we're learning that alloy axles don't really add any significant amount of weight. They just kind of look good. And if the machining is good, you know, super bonus. A pair of VFD twins. 4 pairs. J-Concepts tusks. A lot of similarities. Probably just enough differences. We're going to go out there and we're going to do C.A.B.S, and these guys are going to take some tumbles because they're not like some of the flyweights and rigs that have a lot of wheel time and a lot of tuning on them. So I know that Zarana and the V-Nix kind of stand out as somewhat fan favorites. So here is hoping that they can deliver, because I don't really know where I would go to tune out big issues other than starting to change componentry. Like you see on the V-Nix, he has posts, a stance body will just drop right down on it, which lowers the weight, drops a bunch of weight. She does not have that luxury. They're going to go as they go. This is how they sit. What I did is I did the check, make sure none of the wheels are loose, make sure the shocks will cycle. Everything feels fine. We're going to head out. We're going to try to fall down as little as possible. And then we will have booked another episode of C.A.B.S, and the vinyl color might change, which you'll be seeing the wheels for every episode of C.A.B.S. Joanne, as of the recording of this, Joanne Crafts is going out of business. We were out getting lunch, and I was like, oh, let's go by the Joannes and see how, and it really felt like vultures picking over the carcass. And rolls of vinyl were $4. So I wasted $20 not knowing what strong bond release film was. The vinyl and the release film, to become one, absolutely will not come apart. We'll just shred it apart. I can grab the corner of one and just peel it right off the board. It'll just take the vinyl and the release paper right off together. So I'll spend another hour and a half on the Cricut cutting that vinyl again, after I buy more vinyl to cut on the Cricut again. So for today, we'll do this, and then we'll go and we'll do the other things. And I will meet you very shortly right outside. Had to refamiliarize myself with the controls. Good click out of this twin. This twin's got a powerful click in it. We should be in 6.5% small overdrive, which is going to do better on a side hill for you. He's got that entry, you know? It's going to lift. Is it going to lift? There we go. There we go. I don't want that, but I also know that, ooh, yeah. I also know that entry will be a determiner. There are no, you know, it's a battle, but many times battles have no clear winner. So I came in a little low. We'll stay up a little higher, cross right there, and just starts to poke it up in the air. I would like a little bit more rear link separation. We learn real quick, and well, I want to see. I want to say there is a bit more rear link separation on Zarana. So this is Zoku V-Nix Geo versus straight VRD Geo. Yes, she is aggressively pink. Look at that. Look at the transfer of that body weight. Just pulling that tire up in the air. Take him with you. Take him with you. Oh, disrespectful. Not unanticipated. What's crazy to me is how one 1800 will feel so completely different from another. I still contend that based on her body weight, she might have too much articulation. She might have a lot too much articulation. I don't really want to firm up the spring. We could go one rate heavier. Like we get to right here and look at that body just flopped all the way over. And then because those cross weights are so far off, yeah, she loses it all right here. There is no weight on the high side tires. Camera is not capturing the fact that the passenger rear is off the ground, and I feel basically no resistance passenger front. Just slow poke it through. So neither of these are killing it on the side hill. That's not good. That's not great. Sacrifices for vanity, man. That is what you're looking at right there is not the position you want to be in. This is a bit of an extreme side hill environment. It's 45 degrees or more all the way across. Dig, nothing. Just absolutely nothing. Good thing she can self-right well. Thing is, uneven terrain, she murders, but man, I don't know if there's an approach I can take to this side hill. The V-Nix felt a little out of shape. This feels real bad. Real bad. No way. No, she can't do that. But, I mean, it's such a prioritization over compliance and forward drive that the side hill ability is borderline non-existent. So because we love to quantify things, we're going to make up some numbers. We go to 5 points, and we're going to give 5 points at each of the 5 points. Let's do that. Never done before. Starting in C.A.B.S 5, the wheels, 5 points at the 5 points. Oh my goodness, God, is she good at that. So, in side hilling, I would give Zarana a 1 out of 5 for side hilling. I would give the V-Nix, I want to say I would give him a 2.5. But, is that a 3? Is that above average? No, that's a 2. He's going to get a 2 in side hilling. Let's see, will that over transfer? Okay, right here, it's going to really overload. Really overload. If we can get over that ledge without falling, settle. You do have dig. Ah! There is 100% such a thing as too much articulation. I think a huge part of her is just shorter shocks. Like, she needs to be on 85s. It won't look as cool, but it will be more maneuverable. She can really do a lot with that compliance, though. The followaways are somewhat sudden, generally violent. How about on the descent? Is she gonna go over tea kettle? No. Oh, yeah. What, 5% less front weight? And she turns so sharp. Let's hit a dig. Get over even more. That 1800, that 1800 comes on real fast. The V-Nix feels softer. See how he does right here. Very nearly as well. Boy, his VFD twin has got the real click. Okay, when we go to the overtransfer right here, yeah, he doesn't feel like he's throwing it back nearly as much. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Okay, she did not use dig to turn here. He has the same axle in a different color. Woo! There's that 4% more front weight again. I don't know, can you turn her? Nope. This self-righting technique, for those of you who drive at high speed and bash, you know. T-boning another car when it's upside down, that's not mean. That's how you turn it back over. Rock crawlers are terrible at it. All they want to do is climb things. So when you try to T-bone an upside down vehicle, the vehicle doing the T-boning just tries to climb over the other one. Yeah. Now, so far through here, would I consider V-Nix's showing on the day to be an above average performance? I don't think that I would. That's pretty solid through there. Can we keep it in tight? We'll flop down, comes through. Yeah. I would go, it's a hard 3, soft 4. We've got another little spin to do. We'll see if it improves. Yeah, when you get in the terrain that she likes, my goodness, the 3-wheel motion comes on real late, and she can absolutely throw it around. Like right there, we'll dig to pull the front end over. Yeah. See, she felt worse early on, but much better later on. That was pretty good through there. Okay. Do the straight approach here. We'll do the standard entry. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Yeah. Treats gate 3 like it's not there. We'll come around for the second descender. You know, for his weight distribution, he descends pretty well. I feel like she descends a little bit better. Okay, same thing. It is just a joy to watch that articulation. It's too much. Doesn't take away from it though. Okay, does she have enough to drive up? Yes. I said effortless with him. That terrain does not matter. Her side hilling is inarguably bad. But really, genuinely, in overall maneuverability, I would say above average. So we're calling 3 an average because it's in the middle of 5. I would say V-Nix with a 3, Zarana with a 4, which is fun because that means that after 2 points, they're both on 5. I think I've made an executive decision because I already sat down and it felt like time to make that executive decision. I ordinarily do gates 4 and 5. 4 is right on the other side of the hill here. We're just going to do 5. We're just going to do 5. 4 only trips people up when they have really big underdrive overdrive splits. 5 has the opportunity to trip everybody up. We're going to really see what Zarana's weight transfer does right there. Okay, this is pinpoint stuff right here. Like, that's exactly where I wanted him to run the line. What is his finish? Great. How does he come down off the top? Really good. Really good. That is a hard 4 looking at a soft 5. There was no moment of hesitation there. Okay, big articulation, hurting or helping? Okay, keep it down. Keep it down. See that transfer? She can self-right. You got to be ready for it. That cage will land upside down really quite easily. Okay, get up a little higher. Want to try to get more of it. Oh, that's not great. You know what? Let's go big. Let's go big overdrive. Okay. Let's hold the rear end down a little bit. Oh. I feel the body weight so much. Okay, little drop down there in the front. That felt a lot better. There we go. There we go. Not as easy to get an entry. Okay, real twisting. Yeah, it's not there. Can we get out wider? It is a tusk. Nope. It's tough, you know. It's hyper articulation. It is too much of a good thing. She looks great and in the right terrain, dominant, but easy. Never even had to go to big. Now, what he cannot do is just bulldog it. Can't go super wide. Oh, 46 does hold his front end down a lot more. Let's see here. Got a little too busy on the throttle just a second ago. Oh, yeah. Okay. I would call that that's a solid 4. I would give Zarana, it's tough. In class 2, I would say an average is a tricky make. She's probably a 2. She's probably a 2 due to that. Yeah, you can watch it even right through here. Front end will pop. It doesn't feel like big OD. Look. It's a 2. It's a 2. So we're 9-7 V-Nix. And while I don't want to feel like the conclusion here at Hannah, Montana is foregone, that little, when we try to go across the face there, that is not going to benefit high travel. This is still big OD. I wanted to see the entry on big OD. It's solid, really solid. Is it going to pop the front? No. Okay, now what we'll do is we'll stay in and we'll dig it a little bit. So that's a little big dig. Okay, how's she gonna do? I feel like there's gonna be a woo. Oh, there we go. I was like, I feel like there's gonna be a cut point, and there it was. All right, VRD coming in. Also 46. See if it has the same amount of drive up. Yeah, feels similar, a bit more, again, at 5%. hit a little dig if we can. Right there. Okay, this is right where Zarana got to, and then we will drop, go back down to 6%. Try to keep it a little flatter. Okay, absolutely solid through there. It feels super light, but it doesn't quite feel cutaway light. No, that stayed down really well. Okay, coming down across, coming down across. Still in 6. Okay. Solid performance by that guy through there. We'll give her another try across the top. We don't just want to throw it away on one. She's going on shorter shocks, man. She's going on some 85, probably 85s. I was gonna say 90s, but probably 85s. Okay, we're gonna go down to 6 earlier. Just in case. Hook over the top, hook over the top. That's too high. That's too high. Ooh, I feel nothing. Ooh, that's bad. That's bad. Yeah, it's too high, it's too high. Very slow, very slow. Don't. You gotta give her this. She falls with style. I mean, but Impossible Waterfall is, like, V-Nix has her doubled up here so far. I'm looking at 4-2. Okay, Impossible Waterfall. Perfect hook right there. And auto ejected. We'll give him a little quick spin at it, because that was on 0. They got to kind of take 2 shots at everything. Go back to big front OD. Coming across. We'll see if that will help keep that rear end in shape, and it really does. That's the spot where he got ejected, right there. No, don't. Nice. Okay, I can't in good conscience reward anybody a 5 at Hannah, Montana unless they complete both sides. So V-Nix is not in a position to take a 5 because Impossible Waterfall is just beating him around. We get you right there. Ooh, 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 ooh. A little more, little more, little more, little more. What are we in? Big? Back to small. We need more drive from the rear right here. Right there, right there, right there. It's just, he's so close. And here's the deal. You put a cliffhanger cab on him, take all the cage and all that stuff off, take the rest of the V-Nix stuff off. I think he gets this. But again, we come back around to sacrifices for vanity. Can we get out of this unscathed? Just narrowly. I'm putting V-Nix, putting the V-Nix on a 4, so he's at what, 13, and she would be on like a 9 right now, unless she can manage to do some magic here. That articulation. Oy, every time I'm like, you know, we know what the problem is. It's too long a travel. She really does. Style. She's got style. And honestly, feels maybe closer than it looks. Metal axles are for scraping. Okay, you know you need to be a little higher and wider. There you go, there you go. She's got a bit of track width on him. They have the same wheelbase. It just gets right into slipper real fast. I think the wider body is hurting and helping in equal measure. Like, we are getting way too much slipper engagement here. And in a slipper screaming effort to squeeze another point out of it, again, I think if you take her body off and run her just like that, she goes. We have to measure, we have to meter out the sacrifices for Vanity. Like, what are we willing to give? And she runs a big pink Jeep, and that's just the way it is. Some things will never change. Some things are going to change. She needs a shorter shock. No question. That amount of articulation is hurting more than it's helping. We move to the final at Tumbledore with V-Nix up 13-9. He would have to self-disassemble at this point. As we stare into the sun, we'll do the usual. So 6.5 here. A bad entry that is correctable is points. We're getting a little bit of weird slippy. We definitely get more click in 6.5 than we do in 46. The elusive, inexplicable click. Okay, 6 will descend. Descend under 6. He's a little abrupt. He's got a little jerkiness to him. He needs like a bit of a tune. Zarana needs a bit of a component change. We'll get to that. We'll do hard side over here. The foam is running. There we go. Really nice, really nice. Fence side. Real high up. Still in 6.5. He can 3-wheel motion it. He can get that thing way up there. Nice reposition there. Ability to correct the line is scored highly for that. So with this one, as we do 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, we kind of do 5 elements of this 5th point of the 5 points. I'm kind of rewarding a point for each. So he's done 3 of the things, soft 3 right now. It's going to come down to center cut and the right-hander. Yeah, that descending, for a guy that's, what was he, 60-40? That's pretty okay. And he still hasn't come out of 6.5. Okay, let's see. Are we going to get any doodlebug action, or are we going to keep the front down? Ooh, yeah! Left hand descent, 6.5, no dig. Shoulda dug the dug. Shoulda dug the dug there. That was really good. That was really good. Okay, 6.5. I get this sneaking suspicion she might need a little bit of 46 at some points. Oh man, the drive though, it is such a hyper prioritization of forward drive. She's just forward drive. She's forward drive and excessive articulation. When she gets out of shape, that shape is gone. The shape is an explosion, is the shape that she achieves. In terms of just ability to go up, yeah, right there, full weight transfer. Into the big. Rear tires just wrinkling. What is happening is kind of part of the reason things like suck down winches exist, because She's just putting her front axle, she's tail standing. She's putting her front axle in the air. She needs 10 millimeters of less shock. I want to say these are 95s. God, I hope they're 95s and not 100s. Oh! Cage is doing cage things. I did, no, that's 6.5. I was going to say I initiated a descent on 46, but I did not. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, throws it up. She is using maximum slipper clutch here. Ooh, ooh. Okay, okay, you're in the spot. You're in the spot. Nope. Tumble door be tumbling. It occurs to me that she needs to ascend this side. There's a point to be had over here. Yeah, when she gets into her environment, pulls like a train. But man, she feels like, imagine you're in that race where those crazy British people chase cheese down a hill. But before you started it, they put a football helmet on you that has like a 10-pound steel weight plate bolted to the top of it. That's kind of what it feels like to drive her. It really swings that weight around. Her body has popped up a little. I can see the light on the ESC suddenly. Oof. Those suspension actions just cut away. Oh. She keeps it down, but it never feels good. She was descending great at Oblivion. You get out onto this, you just, it's like a pucker factor 8. And we could see green light on Zarana because on one of those little Tumbledore sponsored tumbles, she bent both chassis rails and broke the A pillar on the driver's side of the body. Tumbledore takes not prisoners. Okay, that's the usual. You get shuttled, and then what you want to be able to do is cut back, grab that edge, and head on up. I am going to give V-Nix the first 5 on the day. This is a 5 at Tumbledore. He does all 5 aspects requested of him to end on an 18. 18 out of 27. Is that right? Did I do my math right? You can check my math. I think it's because he had a 13 after the last. 18 out of 25? Does that sound right? 18 out of 25. 7.6. Yeah, that seems right. Pretty solid. Pretty solid for V-Nix on the day. Zarana was on 9. Yeah, she was 4 down coming into here. She has spent a lot of time flopping over. I bent the chassis rails back with my hand. Inadequate front bracing. She needs a brace on her front tower and she does not have one. Can we get on? It is an absolute challenge here. Okay, there we go. Okay, we got out of position. What are we on? We're on big. He was on small. Okay, down to 6.5. See? She needed, oh! Like I said, one moment she's there, and then it's not a snap, it's a fire, a pow. She just pow and she's gone. That's a 2. Like, I'd like to give a 2.5. So that would take her to 11.5. So we'll round it up to a 12. 12 out of 25 is certainly a position where some tuning is due. 18 out of 25 is pretty good. Like, I'm almost saying, I would like to see like 20s out of the thing. I think there's a couple people on the wheel that have legitimately a 25 in them, but that is speculative. We weren't scoring before that. Like, I'm thinking back, C.A.B.S 4, Jake and Lolo, I would honestly say like 22, 23 for those two. Maybe a 24. If I had to go back and re-review the footage, you can feel free to do so. Like, you know how we're scoring the points. The points are made up and the scores don't matter. But on this day, V-Nix is definitely just sliding back onto his rack. I will check rear upper link position. I would like to be able to go up 1 hole. If he's in middle hole in the rear, he's going up 1 hole. And I think we could get around a 20. We could eke out a couple more points. But he was fairly consistent throughout. Between 3s and 4s out of 5, which is not terrible. Zarana, on the other hand, finishing at a 12, that's like half. So she was bouncing 2s, 3s all the way through. But I contend that a shock change will correct a lot of it. She will at least get to where he is currently score-wise, like to around a 17, 18, theoretically. And then moving some componentry, maybe throwing a little more low weight at it, maybe like brass rings in the front wheels, try to get a little bit more front bias. There's some real basic stuff we can do to her. Geometry-wise, it feels pretty good. It's just, you can watch that over-articulation just turn her into a pink explosion. Cams in 6.5. Yeah, his dig descent is absolutely solid. Get through. There you go. Yeah. Even with that weight, like if we remodded him and made it so he ran without the cage, even that would help in some situations. I don't think the cage is holding him back that much, but I don't think the cage is any particular advantage, except in when you have to pick him up. He doesn't have a front bumper, so it's a lot easier to pick him up from the cage. V-Nix and Zarana, very different takes on two different things, and I think that the score differential today, about 1/3 of it was the difference in sprung to unsprung ratio. She's carrying a lot more with that big, beautiful pink body. And the other 2/3 is she's running shocks that are just simply too long. So we'll make those corrections, and then maybe she'll come up on the wheels. The wheels of fate will choose her to come again soon. I hope that you indeed also come back real soon. Join us again here at the Canyon for C.A.B.S or whatever else happens to be going on that day. Thank you so much for being here today. I look forward to seeing you in the future, and in between now and then, please, one and all, do your very best. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you again here for the Canyon. You know what we can do? Double drive out. Ba-ba-ba-da-da. V-Nix is heading back to get an air bath and then head to his garage. And V-Nix is also, and she's following the V-Nix, and we'll see you again real soon. 2 rigs take twice as long to clean up. It's true.